my parents' storage. I had some stuff in there. They're like, "What's this?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's fine." It's fine. But so you were in the band, and
Yes.
so are you? What's the difference between the and you've been to clubs here, you've been to clubs there? What's the difference in the European or the British fetish scene and the fetish scene here?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think Europe. I mean, the weird thing is, and I've spoken to Isqui about that, Mistress Cyan, that when you're born in London, you look to America. All the shows you get on TV are American shows, 18, Kojak, and so you get in this American culture, and you also indoctrinated in the bands that I was into, Led Zeppelin or whatever. You'd hear these stories of California and how crazy it was,
right?
And you'd think, oh, this was the freest place, and this is where it must be all happening.
For Led Zeppelin, yes. For the rest of us, not so much.
Well, maybe. But it was cricket. But
we heard about the shark. We know all. We
Exactly.
heard
that was
stuff.
nearby, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, there's the Hyatt House down on Sunset. Yeah,
And it wasn't a shark; it was a red snapper.
Red Snapper. Yeah, right next to Comedy Store.
Right,
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to that point, so I think the London scene and the European scene is a lot more decadent in a way, or was back in the 90s. But then the 90s were quite decadent. So I'm
Right.
not sure whether it's just my time frame and the hate. I think it might have been the drugs.
The drugs?
Sorry.
Don't do drugs, kids.
No.
Don't do drugs. Just coffee. Just
What was it? Was it ecstasy? What was that? What was the big drug then? I don't know.
It's a combination of many, I'm afraid to tell you.
Oh wait.
Combination of everything.
Oh wait! I've listened to some Chemical Brothers albums. There was like a K, Special K. Is that what it was?
Yeah, allegedly. My lawyer's listening. No comment. I plead the fifth.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, you seem to now. Where did you grow up?
No, I nothing close as Paul.
No. I know you didn't do drugs, but where did? Are you from LA? Where are you from?
I'm from LA. I was actually born in Armenia. I'm Armenian Greek.
Okay.
That's
That's not a bad combination. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. But I was. We moved here when I was 12.
Okay.
And really parents that were just extra cautious, and so I never Paul tells me his stories and I'm always jealous because I always dreamed about it. I read about it in magazines, but it sounds amazing.
Were you like hyper religious growing up?
No, not that bad. My parents were just extra
Careful.
very careful. Yeah, I really didn't do too much partying. I moved. I lived in New York.
Well, I'm sure.
She has a memory and she has a brain left.
Yeah, I'm sure you and Paul made up for lost time.
Yes, that we
Hence
did.
Torture Garden.
That we did. That was Paul's crazy idea, and I think when he discussed it and we talked about it, it's another. It's an idea to discuss it and have that happen and put it together, but actually doing it is a whole nother level of craziness. And we had talked about it, and we met Mistress Cyan, and after speaking to her, and when we left that meeting, we kind of looked at each other and said, okay, I think we could do this now. We felt that comfortable, and she made us feel that comfortable, and so we went ahead.
She does it. Now, how did you meet this crazy guy?
Oh my gosh, a friend of ours actually introduced.
Where'd you meet this rock star?
Yeah, he really looked like a rock star. He had long hair and he had piercings on his eyebrows and earrings and everywhere.
The good old days.
Nipples, blah blah blah. And
No,
you edit this, don't you?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, this is all live. And
Oh my
please,
God.
if you didn't have nipple rings, I'd be disappointed. Come on, it's Torture Garden. What's the matter with you?
I just remember when we met, he was never the type that I would go for, whatever you call that.
Yeah.
But he was hilarious. He was so funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. And it was soon after that we got married in Scotland.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
so you met him in Europe, or you met him here?
We met here.
Okay.
We met here, but I always wanted to get married in Europe, and
was it a castle?
It was a castle.
Yeah.
It was at Alki
So
Castle.
that's a good move.
Yeah, we rented the whole castle. We had family and friends come for a few days, and it was great. We partied all night. We stayed there. We woke up. We had whiskey shots and cheddar bread, and it was just amazing.
Yeah. So the family wasn't really partying at the reception. They sort of were in another part of the castle. Or?
No, actually, everyone was there. It was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
we were up all night. We had our Scottish bartenders putting on music, and we were dancing until 2 a.m.
Did he wear a kilt?
No, he didn't wear
No.
a kilt. Well, we
With
did
my
have.
legs. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah.
We wore a nice suit. We had a bagpipes, and
We did.
it was outside. It was amazing. We
Great.
had a perfect weather. Yeah,
It was good.
it was
great.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at how you're glowing.
I know. This was not part of the interview. I was very-
So vanilla. So vanilla. Now, this. Now, you better fan yourself for this question. Now, are you in the scene? Are you? Do you dabble in this? I mean, because he seems to be in it, and you guys are in Torture Garden.
You should see our closet.
Oh, really? Now, who's?
Which closet is that? I haven't seen that closet.
Now, I'm assuming you're the D and he's the S, or what's going on with
Oh, how dare you?
You-
We alternate.
that? Oh, okay.
We
So
AC/DC.
oh, okay, good. That's a healthy marriage, I think. But yeah, that's interesting. No, so yeah, so but you pulled on his nipple rings a few times.
Okay.
No, trust me, we're just getting started.
Yeah, I'm too old. these days.
it's actually, he says it's very sensitive. So
They are
I don't,
sensitive.
Which only makes
All
me
guys
wanna
say
do-
that. I say that.
Yeah, which only makes me want to pull it harder. And
See, he knows what to do. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Don't pull.
British are very,
Yeah.
very shy.
Yeah, don't pull it harder.
British-
Wink, wink. We wouldn't want you to do
Yes.
that.
The British are extremely shy,
Yeah,
but
you're
extremely perverted. That's the
Yeah.
the flip.
Yeah, you guys are
They're very perverted.
Now, what's the most perverted thing you've seen in in an
my
S&M
God.
club in England?
Ooh,
Isqui has something in mind. I'll.
No, I do not. Actually.
okay.
I have nothing.
Well,
My
let's
brain
hear
is-
this.
I'm hoping I could smoke right now, but I can't.
That's a good question. I mean, there's many.
Something that you have not seen in America.
Oh, I do remember. It was a private manor club, I think, that the band played.
Okay.
And they had a huge area, like basically like an orgy room. I do vaguely remember that, but I wasn't participating, I have to say, because I was on stage.
You'll accept
So
me.
Yes. So
a
what?
private conversation,
Yes.
a private interview for this.
Yeah. So you were providing the beat that everybody was fucking
Oh,
to.
exactly. Well said. Yeah, I
Yes.
was providing the beat.
No, and Morgan's gonna kill you for doing that. What instrument did you play?
I was the singer and lyricist, and
Okay.
I was also write the music and then kind of tell the people what to play. I was
Right.
a horrible.
And what
dictator.
was the band again?
It was called Bent USA.
I've heard-
Available on
that
Spotify,
sounds-
everywhere else.
Right, Morgan, you're an encyclopedic knowledge of music. Do you remember Bent USA?
I don't.
Of course you don't. No one does.
No.
It's okay. Don't feel bad.
So
I
you were
remember myself.
in the UK in the band Bent USA.
We were in the UK scene, and we actually did a very small support slot with the Marilyn Manson at one stage before he released the big albums.
That might have been. I might
Jenny
have.
Torturers, we did some gigs with them.
I
Lords of Acid,
that
those kind of
that might.
gigs.
I think I might have. Yeah, I might have caught your name on like something on that.
Yeah.
But that's weird because most British bands, like especially if they have the same name as American band, it's like Mission UK or
we
Charlatans
actually-
UK.
We had to put the USA moniker because there was another awful dance band called Bent. It was very wet. We actually had the name first, but we were going to take them to court, but we thought, well, we're poor, we don't have the money to. And so we added the USA moniker. And we also had a lot of interest from American record labels at the time.
Okay.
Including Maverick Records, Madonna's label.
Madonna.
at the time.
Did you meet with Madonna?
I didn't meet with Madonna, but I did meet with, his name escapes me, the very Guy Oziri. He was her manager, and he was he was the one who was in charge of Maverick Records at the time.
Okay.
And Alanis Morissette at one of the parties, I remember.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And that was like right at her peak, or just
Probably
or a little
bit
past her
after,
peak.
maybe like 898. I'm thinking
Yeah.
97, 98. So maybe a little. Yeah, she.
Yeah, when you say-
gone by then, a little bit.
Yeah, when you say you saw her at a party, was it one of those parties?
No, please.
No, it's just a record, just a regular.
Say something
I don't know,
Poor
like
Alanis.
you saw,
She's
like
a
you
very
saw,
nice
like you
lady.
saw Lannis on a cross, like getting flogged or something, or.
This sounds like we're going into your fantasy realms here. So
Trust me,
Anything
I've had a
like
couple of fantasies about that. Yeah, that's more sense. Yeah, it's just-
that. Jagged little pill.
you ought to know. Whap! Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know all about
She
it.
would know.
Yeah, isn't it ironic?
Yes.
No, it's not ironic. Whack! Yes. But she was nice.
She was very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I spoke.
Did
to
you
her
put the
briefly.
moves on? Seriously,
not
I know it was
at all,
before you
no.
met your lovely wife.
No,
but-
and in fact, I was more interested because the Prodigy had been signed by Maverick's label.
Right.
And I remember Keith Flint being around. I was trying to find him. I didn't actually find him, unfortunately. R.I.P. Keith. And
that's when they were at their peak. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
We had Breathe and Firestarter, and
Right.
they were huge, and I loved that.
Smack my bitch up.
Exactly. Well
Yeah,
said.
and
Well said.
so, see, I'm going for the segue, so here we go. So, Mr. Cyan, speaking of, it's not you're smacking bitches up. I'm not gonna smack
Every day.
I know you do, but so you DomCon was a big hit this year, and you're going to New Orleans with DomCon, and where else?
And we're gonna go to Sydney next year, the year after.
And Sydney. Okay, so.
And
And,
Monday, and then sorry.
wait a second, we're working on.
Breaking
We
news.
started in LA. We're gonna.
Oh, okay. So how did you get together with these two maniacs and get into torture? Not that you're a maniac; he's a maniac.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, Torture Garden.
Well, Paul reached out to me and said that he was bringing Torture Garden to Los Angeles, and if we were interested in getting involved in somehow.
Right.
So I told him, wow, I'm fully aware of what Torture Garden is, so I was really excited about it.
Yeah, because I'm not, as oddly enough. I think I've heard the name, but
It's the party, the fetish party in Europe.
yeah,
And so he came over to Sanctuary, and we sat down and started comparing notes about what he was looking for and what we could do. And instead of just kind of helping out, we just kind of almost partnered on it almost.
Right.
They're taking care of all the main acts, and so for the stages, we're having the whole downstairs of the Globe transformed into a dungeon.
right.
So we're gonna have a rope dojo and dance classes,
Ooh,
and, a photo
Right.
area, and we got the public play area.
Right. Wow.
Like I said, we're gonna have the civvy in there too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
be quite a night.
maybe I'll get on the Civian. Who knows? I was going to tell you, this is where I met Mr. Cyan, and I don't know when did you get to LA, Paul?
I'm actually from 2008. I've been here. So
Okay, so we probably crossed paths because you do look familiar. I think we might have crossed paths.
Really?
Because I've told people, and this is when I met Mr. Cyan, was really the golden age of clubbing in LA, which is, I would say, I was too young for the 90s, but the mid 2000s I would say was kind of the golden age. You had Dungeon, you had Club Hell, they had Club Hell was my favorite because they had the S&M with the look at those eyes. 'Cause they had the S&M because this is going to be like like Torture Garden, but not quite as. I mean, Torture Garden is going to be a few steps beyond it now because it's. But it was a nice introduction. They had the big club. They had an outdoor patio where you could smoke, and then they had a whole room where the whole room was just people just doing scenes. And outside, that's where we met, and that's where I met a lot of the people in the scene. So this is but that to me that was the golden age, and then that kind of faded away, and you don't really there's nothing really like it now. You can go to Sanctuary for the real thing. You can go to a club to dance, but there's nothing really that combines the two.
It's become kind of vanilla in some ways with the club. They're not as edgy. I mean, I remember back in the late 80s and early 90s when they had Cinematic.
Oh, yeah.
Cinematic and Club Fuck. Okay.
I've heard about Club Fuck. I've never been there. Cinematic, I caught it towards the tail end. Last time I was at Cinematic, it was Valentine's Day, and Drew Barrymore was there.
Oh.
But they had you had to wait in line, and there was a closed door.
Yeah.
And when you went through the door, that's where,
Yeah, they had a back room, and up front you had all people dancing and everything else, and then you had the back room.
Yeah, regular goth industrial club in front.
Okay.
And you had to, I mean, if you didn't know about the back room, you would never know.
No.
But somebody had to tell you, go to the back room, and you had to wait in line, and then they just had like a little, they had a few seats, and they had a little play. And you played in the back area, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was so much fun, and it was so different than it is these days. Because
Yeah.
it was, there really wasn't any public dungeons to go to, and there wasn't any, real internet type of things and classes and workshops. I mean, it's really changed, but back then that was where you were going to get it. That or at people's homes.
Yeah. Do you think do you think it's better or worse that people are learning on the internet and?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. I think we've it's got its good and its bad. The good part of it about being coming out so public is that we're allowed to do a lot more without getting in trouble with it. You know, people like having to do something like Sanctuary, where we're above board and the sheriffs know what we're doing.
Right.
And bring officers over for tours and things like that. It's a hell of a lot more comfortable than worrying if you're going to get raided. Like, you know, club fuck, that's what happened.
Wait,
Club
so
fuck,
it's
LA PD and Vice came in here and raided the place and arrested people for doing spankings and floggings and things like that. And we don't have to worry about that, at least in Los Angeles.
So you bring the police officers in for a tour?
Oh, they come over for tour. They bring the new officers over for tours. Love
Oh, yeah?
walking them through and showing them that they pay